Hey everyone, it's Mariana, and today I'm going to be talking about Midnight Special, a new film written and directed by Jeff Nichols, who also wrote and directed Mud, Take Shelter, and Shotgun Stories. This is a very interesting science fiction drama slash thriller, and it's definitely a film I've been looking forward to. At the center of the story, we have this boy, Alton, who has certain powers. It's unclear what these powers are for a while in this movie, but he has special powers. In the beginning of the film, we learn that he was kidnapped, or was he, by Roy, played by Michael Shannon, and Lucas, played by Joel Edgerton. Everyone is on the hunt for this kid, and they all have different ideas about what he actually is. The police, of course, are looking for him. Then there is this religious cult led by Sam Shepard's character, and they want him back as soon as possible because they think he's the Messiah. Then the government thinks that he's some kind of weapon, so they of course want him in their custody. NSA is involved. Everybody is looking for him, and in the meantime, as the audience, we really don't know what exactly is going on, so we're just trying to figure it out along with everybody else. This kind of ambiguity in Midnight Special is the reason I think the opinions on this film are going to be a little bit split. Some people are going to love this film and others are going to be not so crazy about it. If you are the kind of moviegoer who likes definite answers and explanations in the film and a well kind of defined ending, you may be a little bit frustrated by Midnight Special. In this film, Jeff Nichols doesn't really go out of his way to explain anything to the audience, so for the large portion of it, as the audience, we kind of have to pick up on small bits of dialogue and small things that are shown and piece it all together ourselves and kind of discover it as we go. This was something that was apparently a conscious decision, and he talked about that in his Q&A after the screening that I went to, which was, by the way, an awesome Q&A with him and Joel Edgerton. And he talked about how he really wanted to make sure the characters aren't presenting anything to the viewers because they know what's going on. They know what they're talking about. There's no reason for them to give any kind of explanation. He also talked about how when he was making this film, he really wanted to focus on creating a certain feeling or evoking an emotion rather than specific plot points. This isn't to say that the movie doesn't have a plot. It definitely does. But when you watch Midnight Special, that's definitely something that's obvious, and kind of the same way how when you watch the trailer for Midnight Special, you don't necessarily know what's going on. It's quite ambiguous, but you get a really good feel for the tone of the film. That's kind of how the movie is as well, and it comes together eventually, but it definitely takes its time in revealing itself to the audience. And since I just brought up the tone, I do have to say that the ambience and the style and the look of this film are great. I loved in general how everything looked and how it fit in with the type of the story that Midnight Special is. I thought the mood was just perfect. I also thought it was really interesting to see these groups of people react differently to this boy who is different from them and kind of try to apply their own needs to him and use him the way that they want to use him. But then at the same time, this boy is trying to figure out what he's doing and why he's here. So it's kind of a coming of age story as well, and he affects the people who surround him in different ways. So it's very, very interesting to observe all of the small things that come together in this movie, and I love that type of thing. And of course, when you have actors like Michael Shannon, Joel Edgerton, Adam Driver, and Kirsten Dunst, you are going to get amazing acting performances, and you can tell that the characters that they're playing have depth to them. It's once again something you need to pick up on from small mentions in conversations. Nothing is a huge reveal except for the reveal at the end. Everything else is very kind of understated, but once you start picking up on those things, you really get involved with who these people are and what their goals are. And I would say the roles that these actors are playing are kind of different from what they normally do in movies, at least from the movies that I've seen. Something that I am on the fence about with Midnight Special is that I am not usually a big fan of movies' tension being built almost entirely on withholding information, and there is quite a bit of that in this film. And if you take away the withholding information, I would say the pacing is pretty moderate. Obviously, that's a personal preference. Some people may not care about that, but something to be aware of is that when you're building up something throughout the whole film and there's all this tension because you don't know what's going on, the reveal is never as powerful as the build-up. And I feel like that's kind of something that Midnight Special suffers from. Overall, I ended up really enjoying Midnight Special despite any kind of small issues that I may have with it or any kind of inconsistencies that I can't really talk about because of spoilers. I thought there were a lot of things to like about this movie, and it's definitely the kind of film that makes you think, and it's the kind of film that makes you think for a while after you leave the theater. It's not the kind of movie that you just watch and forget about. So I'm going to be giving it 4 out of 5 stars. I definitely think you should give it a shot, and I think I've set up proper expectations so you know what kind of film you're getting into. So if this sounds like a movie that would interest you, definitely check it out. That's it for my review of Midnight Special. It's coming out in limited release this weekend, I believe, and then going into wider release in April. So let me know if you're planning to see this movie in theaters, if you've been looking forward to it, if you've even heard of this film, or if this is complete news to you. Let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you did enjoy it, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye!